Here we go. Hi, my name is Gabrielle, and welcome back to episode 3 of Taking My Small Business Journey Seriously. So, hi again. Those of you who are returning, thank you so much. I don't know what has happened, but since the last video, I gained 20 subscribers. That is amazing. I was not expecting that. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I said, but thank you guys so much. From the deepest, bottomest pit of my heart, I really appreciate it. So thank you. So as you guys know, I went to my very first vendor market, and it was an interesting experience. The event was a local organizer, a local event at a local venue, and it took place on a hotel rooftop. Firstly, it was 80 degrees that day, but extremely windy. We were 10 stories up on a rooftop with covered sides, so it kind of created a wind tunnel in there, and a lot of my displays kept falling down. I ended up just sort of taping them down, which worked, but it did wave from side to side a lot of the times, and my scrunchies and things like that kept falling off. But the really interesting part is that, yes, we were on a rooftop, but no one knew that a vendor market was happening. So let's take it from the top. I get there at 4 p.m. because that is when us vendors were allowed to set up. The event took place from 5 to 9 p.m. And again, I get there at 4. I'm setting up. I set everything up. I make it really nice and pretty, exactly how I want to. The wind comes in, my things start blowing all around the place, and I come up with a solution to just tape it down. And then 5 p.m. comes, and I'm giddy, and I'm expecting all these people to come in. It should be a crazy, fun experience. Now, I didn't have my hopes too high that I was going to sell out or sell everything or sell even just one thing. I really was there for the experience, because the experience is what was most important for me at the time, because I needed to at least have one vendor market under my belt. But the kicker was that maybe 12 people showed up in the 4 hours I was there, and 0 out of 12 people knew that a vendor market was happening. So imagine this. I'm right by the door. That's where my table was right by the door. So people would come in, and I would be the first person that they would see. And so I'm looking at them, like, smiling, like, trying to be friendly and things like that. Like, not overbearing, but just trying to be as friendly as possible. And they would sort of look around and be like, oh, is the lounge closed? Because the rooftop is also a lounge. And of course it wasn't closed, because we were up there and they were allowed to walk up the steps to get there. But nobody knew that it was happening. And they would come up and they would start like looking around, but then they would get a little uncomfortable because they kind of just wanted to relax and have a cocktail with their friends. And there's like 8 people with a bunch of merchandise all around them, like expecting them to interact and for their attendance to be for the vendor market. And so it starts getting even windier. Even the tape isn't holding up anymore. And I didn't lose my patience. I wasn't frustrated, but I'm not gonna lie, eventually I did just start sitting down, because I was standing most of the time to sort of make it more enticing. But I just started sitting down. Like, once I realized what was happening, once I realized that there weren't any posters around the hotel saying that there was a pop-up market, or that online the organizer that I did go with didn't really have much marketing on there, I sort of realized what it was. And although I was extremely proud of myself for doing it and setting everything up and making sure everything was okay and in order, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't advertised in the end. Advertised in the way that I was thinking that it was going to be, because I don't have many followers, I don't have many subscribers or anything like that. So I wouldn't have been able to really get my own sort of people to come and be interested, because I'm just starting this whole journey. Anastasia. Okay, we're back. So, like I was saying, with all that being said, with there not being many people there, and those who did come in not really knowing what's going on, something super funny started happening towards the latter half of the evening. So again, it was a lounge, and it's a rooftop in a really popular part of the city that I'm in. So by 8 p.m., a much younger crowd started coming in, and they're wearing their club gear. And so they come up, it's like a group of 8 people, and they're like, what's going on here? What are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we're selling our handmade goods and things like that. Are you interested? They're like, no. Are you going to be a DJ? Like, one guy asked me if I was the DJ for the night. Mind you, I'm wearing a white dress and a bunch of pastel goods all around me. I mean, I started packing up my table. And so I realized that the party crowd was coming, because the beginning half, when all the confused people came, it was mostly like families or 2 friends, like 2 girlfriends and things like that. But then by 8 p.m., it was like groups of like people my age, like 25 and a little bit older, and they just kind of wanted to get their groove on for the night, which is understandable because it's also the lounge transforms into a nightclub. Go figure. So, not really wanting to have my merchandise messed up, for lack of better words. I don't know how to say it, but in order to avoid any confusion, I decided to leave 30 minutes early. So I started packing my things up by 8:30, and I had left by 9. So that's how my first vendor market went. But I'm extremely grateful for the experience. I'm so happy that I decided to do it and that I did do it, and I stayed. I was there by myself. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. I definitely would do it again, but I would maybe, I don't know what I could have done better. Maybe try to put it more on my own Instagram. I have no problem with admitting the things that I could have done better. I could have had a better setup. I could have put it on my Instagram with my all 10 followers. I could have done whatever within my power, but it was my first experience, and for whatever fault that was there, I totally take it. So now that it's been 2 weeks since the vendor market, here's a little update on everything that's happened. I planned and I had my engagement party. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was magical, enchanting, all of the things, all of the terms that you could use to describe it. I had made my outfit. I used a vintage 1980s Laura Ashley pattern to make my engagement party dress. And then on top of that, I made a bow. And then with the scrap fabric, I made a tie for my fiance. In addition to that, I decided to introduce 2 different products to my collection for the summer, I decided to make mini tote bags. I'm calling them the Tiny Traveler Tote. I've made one for myself. I tested it out and it was so helpful and it carries so much. This is the one that I made for myself. This one here. And it's also has a miniature little cosmetic bag. I put my little cosmetics in here, like my chapstick, lip gloss, and my house keys, just to keep them all in one place. This is the second one that I made. Same thing. And then now we're gonna get into the classic colors that I did. So this classic pink, the rosy pink aprons are the same shade as this. And then the bag. And then finally, this one. And it comes with this as well. So super proud of these. They are on my Shopify website. Everything that I have enough stock of is there. And I'm actually going to be launching that probably after this video is launched. There's a few things that I want to change or add different photos to, but if you are interested, the store is open and you definitely can check it out. Please let me know what you guys think. I've been working on the website like crazy. I believe I have everything in the back end set up. I've had to learn about metadata and meta objects and like all these different things, but it has been a crazy, really fun experience in the end. Like learning a new skill has been really awesome and I'm loving how it turned out. And I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are too. Anyway, moving on. So today, what I'm going to be doing is making what I'm calling a base dress. And what I mean by that is I have to get better pictures of my aprons. For some reason, whenever I lay them flat and try to take a picture of them, it doesn't look like what the product actually looks like. It doesn't get or show the volume and the ruffles and the details that I've put into it. It just doesn't show it laying flat, and it also sort of wrinkles it because it's gathered in the front. The ruffles and the gathers end up looking more like wrinkles when I take a photo of them flat. So I'm going to be making a plain white muslin base dress and taking a lot of photos of myself from the neck down with this dress and then the apron on top of it. The reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want to be wearing something that's too short or distracting, but will add subtlety and a little bit of grace to the aprons and align with the aesthetic that I'm going for my overarching brand of Melrose Haven. All right, so this is going to be an extremely hectic few months for me. Not only did I just finish making my whole engagement party outfit, also planning it, decorating the venue, having it, sort of coming down from that high of all of that craziness, I also have to now start planning the rehearsal dinner. Because I'm crazy, I am planning on making that dress too. And then I'm also planning on making my wedding dress. Because why not? I have my sketch, I have what I want to wear, I have an idea of what it is that I'm going to be doing. So my plan is to document the whole journey of making particularly my wedding dress. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know, leave a like, the comments, and based off of my aesthetics of Melrose Haven, give me your best guess as to what you think my design for my wedding dress will be. I think that's a great little challenge for you guys, for all 23 of you guys who joined me. Again, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. It is crazy. I did not expect that, and I appreciate it so, so much. But yeah, let me know what you think. What you think my wedding dress will look like, what the design is. I have the design already, but based off of my aesthetics, let me know what you think it'll look like. And thank you so much again for watching and stopping by. Thank you. I'll see you next time.